I get a lot of questions about the vibrato exercise, pose and spin. And again, I do want to give credit to Mark Mutter in the States, in Oakville. He is the Suzuki teacher from whom I learned this method of teaching vibrato, and it's absolutely brilliant. I totally think it's the best possible way. Just a more close-up shot of what's actually happening in the hand. So again, my thumb is on the back of the instrument. And we did learn this is called the button, hooray! And my thumb is kind of sitting inside this little divot here. And on the other side, I'm placing my third finger, which is the first finger we're going to start, in that little divot of the purfling. So I'm right in that little channel there. And what I want is that the base of my fingers should be level with the top of the instrument. Okay, so what I see a lot of people doing is when they're working on vibrato, they have their fingers down here, and then they end up with this kind of shape. What we're after is the shape that we actually have when we're playing the instrument, which of course is that, let me get that finger out of the way, all the knuckles on my third finger are rounded, okay? So if your hand is too far down here, of course, your finger is not above the instrument. So that's what we're after here. And I'm always looking for as neutral a shape here as I can possibly find. And I want to keep this neutral the whole time I'm doing this exercise. Okay, so I'm not going to be doing anything with my wrist. I'm really going to aim for total stability there. Pose, that word pose, is just a reminder for us to find 2 points of contact. That's the fingertip and the thumb. Okay, so nothing else is touching my instrument, just the fingertip and the thumb. And when you start the motion at the speed that works for you. You know, so my speed might be this, but your speed right now is probably going to be this. Now, notice I'm not down here. This is really, really important. You have to have the base of those fingers level with the top of your instrument. And I need to be moving that whole arm so that the fingertip, which is resting in the purfling, is still stable on the top of the instrument. And as I pull that hand back toward the scroll of my violin, that knuckle here, this knuckle, is responding. I'm not moving that knuckle, I'm moving my arm, and the knuckle is responding to it. Okay, so I just want to give a wiggle at whatever speed I can. Okay, remember that a vibrato is supposed to be adding warmth to our sound, not an unpleasant intensity. So your goal should never be this. We're not after that kind of speed. We just want it to be consistent in speed, fairly consistent in size, and of course going the right direction. Don't bring that hand this way, because if you're coming this way, you're not doing anything to lengthen and shorten the string. You're just wasting a whole lot of energy. So pull that hand, feel like this part of your hand right here is pulling back toward the scroll. Okay. Trying to get my fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing, but that's the motion. Now, finger 3 is often a very strong finger for most of us. So after we've figured that out, you may just work on finger 3 for weeks. Who knows? However long it takes you. And then we go to finger 4, because finger 4 is often our weakest finger. So when we're at finger 4, it's all the same activity. We're still pulling that hand the same direction. We still want those knuckles to be round to start with, okay? And we're just doing the activity that we modeled with finger 3. So we go finger 3, then finger 4, which we all hate. Then we go to finger 2, which is another strong finger. Again, looking for that nice rounded knuckle to start out with, making sure your hand is down, not down here, making sure that your wrist is not doing anything like this at all. It should be totally neutral. And we'll just pull that hand back toward the scroll of the instrument, nice and relaxed. Nice and steady. And once we've done that for a few minutes, we put that first finger again in the channel of our purfling. First finger is often a difficult one for us to do vibrato on. And we just go around here on the shoulder. Now I do this with my students sometimes for many weeks before we ever go back here. Let's just focus on correct technique, correct direction, nice relaxed motion of the hand, and correct placement of the hand, making sure that we're not here and making sure that we're not doing this. Okay, have fun on your vibrato journey.